And this is the 8th and final video in our series of videos on safety shower and eye wash best practice. And in this video, we've looked at showers and eye washes as bits of first aid equipment that serve a function within the business to reduce the litigation risk exposure that the business has should an injury occur. And this video is essentially for our customers, and it's about what we need to know as a safety shower provider to specify your shower correctly to help protect your business best against the risks that you're exposed to. First and foremost is, what is the risk? What are we protecting against? What are the chemicals or other hazards that we're protecting against? This is always really useful to know because we've got many years of experience in dealing with all sorts of companies all over the world, helping them specify their showers. So we've probably come across similar risks in the past, so we can probably offer some reasonable advice from past experience. Second, and this should go without saying, but it's certainly happened before, where it hasn't been mentioned until a bit later on in the process, is it in an ATEX zone? If it's in an explosive environment, which many hazards are on chemical plants and petrochemical plants, this will greatly affect the spec of the shower. We'll need to use different components in there if there's electrics in there. Let us know that up front, because it's going to affect the cost of the shower quite considerably. And ATEX ain't optional, as we discussed in a previous video. Next thing is it outside or likely to be exposed to temperatures below zero? This will dictate whether we need to have frost protection on that. If it is, you need to have that. Next question is, are you going to buy the cheapest shower to cover your risk and meet the standards? If you are, let us know up front, because we're probably not the right company to talk to, because our showers are expensive, they're very high quality, we'll do the job properly, we'll specify it properly, and our showers will be a bit more expensive than most of our competitors because they're incredibly well made, they're incredibly reliable, and they help to reduce that litigation risk even further. It's a good thing to know. We're probably not the right supplier if cost is the main criteria. Next thing is, do you have a suitable water supply? The American standards, the ANSI standards, which are probably the best standards actually, they specify you need, for a body shower, 75 litres a minute available for 15 minutes. So do you have that kind of water supply available? In the European standards, you can actually get away with a little bit less than that. And nevertheless, it's going to be an awful lot more than just a normal kind of household shower, which is about 12 litres a minute or so. You need quite a hefty water supply there. So if you're running it off a standard household domestic piping or something similar to that in the workplace, probably ain't going to cut it. You're going to need a fairly hefty water supply to make a shower work properly. And do you have warm water available? Because again, this can have some important implications, particularly if you're using the shower in a cold environment. So come to us with what water supply you've got available, and we can then advise you as to whether or not it's suitable for the shower you're looking at. If outside, this is particularly important because often in outside environments or on remote sites, the hot water supplies are not readily available, and they'd be incredibly expensive to actually put in a hot water supply there. In that case, we'll probably start looking at tank showers, which have their own self-contained heating element in them to provide that tepid water supply that we kind of need for cold environments. That's a checklist of the things that we need to know. If you can come armed with answers to all of those questions when you inquire to us, that will help us speed up our quoting process. Obviously, we'll ask all of those questions anyway as we go through, and we can start specifying the correct shower to help reduce that litigation risk, reduce your exposure as a business, and obviously, most importantly, to protect your workers from harm.